Alright, hello, this is Alexander Wales. What are we doing today? It is the Worth the Candle Exclusions doc, stream number 16. Hoping to get 2 done, but we'll see how fried I get through this. I think it should probably be fine, though. The 2 that we're... Well, okay, the one we're definitely doing today is lenticular. It is the opposite of night smoke. It is a place with too much sunlight, basically. And then the one that we are possibly doing is gray magic. So I'm gonna double check. I'm pretty sure lenticular is not mentioned at all. Within the text, so that's fine. I'm going to call it the sunspots SSCZ. I'm going to double check to make sure I haven't used that before. Okay. Hello, Shoe Cream. This is major, or it doesn't say. It does not say. So let me check my timeline. 266. It's like height of the Second Empire. That's fine. And I will put that on the list there. Okay. We need a Suez. I actually think that I should go through and try to figure out every easy, like, not pun, but every bit of wordplay I could, and then just spend the rest of the exclusion stock doing that. Oh, word count is 21,777. I'll highlight this and see how much we get done within the hour or so. No, I'm not going to commit to 2 hours, but feels like it might be a good day to just get 2 done. I have not been keeping track of how many exclusions have been written, but I feel like it's almost a third of them. So it's gonna be great. Gonna be finished with this thing. No, I'm gonna be done with the first draft on this thing. I'm going to have to go back. I'm going to have to catch every to-do that I left for myself and edit some of the ones that I didn't feel quite landed, and then probably just release like this on AO3, but do it like 1 a day. Ideally, I'll have Dolly access by then, and I can do a picture for each. I think that would be neato, and I'd be willing to pay the, like, up to $1 per picture. It seems super low, but I think that's correct for text image generation. Like $1 or $2, that'd be like $80. That's the train, right on schedule. Okay, I think that's all for nature. And I actually want to find out how much the projection layer is actually. Okay, so projection layer has not been mentioned that much. The projection layer is a world building hack to allow different climates and seasons, which on Earth are largely driven by differences in solar radiation. And you have like axial tilt and all that stuff. So this is the thing that gives the world its seasons and its climates, and it's different in different places. And so yes, there's a hack that was added on to like add back in some Earth stuff to the world, but it's one of those things where like you hack it in and then you make it messy by having that hack have other like work imperfectly, or be the basis for a magic system, or in this case exclusion zones. So that's and what's interesting about this, it's totally safe at night. Okay. I like the idea that this might just be the influence of Pitch Black with Vin Diesel, if anyone remembers that movie. I like the idea there's an exclusion zone that you can just like totally safely go into at night. And so long as you leave by the morning, you're going to be okay. This is the opposite of that technically, but it was a prequel. It wasn't a prequel. It came out. It came out before Riddick, and then all the Riddick movies were sort of made from that because Pitch Black's like a cult hit or something. is the ability to alter the layer. This is a bit repetitive, whatever. I'm just plowing ahead. It's stuff you get in the edit. Or you don't find it in the edit, and then you have subpar prose, and that's also, you know, not the worst thing. It's not great, but this is the part where I include examples. So the arrangement of ARB is essentially that the weirder stuff gets packed to the edges. It's a and so most of this stuff is going to be weird stuff. And yes, I am just kind of randomly making stuff up here. Christatus. Turatun C. Why is our continent called red? A lot of these I did not name. These are Bacon Times editions, but if you ever have the opportunity to have Bacon Time make you a giant world map with a bunch of stuff on it, I would highly suggest it. If I had webcam on, I would show you my print version of this, which is on the wall behind me. My only regret is I didn't have it made right at the very beginning. Because map is a helpful thing. I had some like stuff scrawled on a napkin, basically. Which happens with maps. I think it's good for keeping things consistent. phlogiston is such a great word. Okay, I think I'm safe to use it. Oh, sorry, I didn't answer that question. Why is their continent figuratively called red? Like, there's probably some in-universe explanation for it. I'm not going to come up with one right now, but it's the kind of thing that you want that to have a backstory, and so I will make a backstory for that if I ever need it. But given that the exclusionary principle document is one of the last things that I'm planning to do for Worth the Candle, maybe I like that. That's probably never going to happen. Sorry if there's like a ton of noise. I think that's thunder outside. Also, there's a lawnmower. I'm gonna shut the window, even though I love having the window open during the rain. It's not raining yet, but it's gonna rain soon. So, yeah, we get some nice storms where I live because I'm next to a large lake. Next to a large lake, and we get like cold fronts and warm fronts smashing into each other. I think that's what causes it anyway, but Okay, I think we're moving on to features. I think that's fine. This might be a shorter one. I need to search. Super atmospheric. Okay, well, it started raining, which means my neighbor stopped mowing his lawn, which means the window can be open. All right. Planer, yeah. It was literally in the section. Okay. This is like so dumb to replace it here. Oh no, that's Juniper's note. Juniper's allowed to say atmosphere. Could use this magic for astronomy. What do you mean astronomy? Like, you could, I guess, for certain kinds of astronomy. Atmos planer, yeah, Atmo planer is what I use. It's spell check's hard when you're making up words. Ooh, yeah, the Isle of Eversummer. That's actually a great point. I also like that because it, like, explains... Like, you just need the name there. No, Ever Summer was. Um, I think it's explained that. I think it's explained within the text that Ever Summer they had a very very mild, like an incredibly mild winter compared to the human population that was somewhere. I can look it up. And they never went to Ever Summer. Um, there's a passage that. Oh, you know what? Might have been the Christmas chapter. Might have been the Christmas chapter, indeed. Okay, let's. I am logged in. And yeah, I'm trying to find this. Is this important? Probably not. Probably not, and probably under this. Yeah. Oh, it actually just says that. It actually literally just says that. Literally already attributed to the projection layer. So glad I tracked that down, but already canon. So I apparently do think ahead. I just forget about it. Okay. So yeah, it was definitely in the Christmas chapter. The worst of these are. And yeah, lensing is one of the things that was included. I think it's this. This is what I meant when I said ion cannon, or like a, just like a beam of focused light. Oh, from last time. Sure. I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember how planned this one was. I think this might have been one of the ones where I had like a question mark in there originally. Yes, ion cannon. It's like a that thing. There is a link to Night Smoke. I think it will be in this section. The reason that Night Smoke is perpetually dark is because of a thickening of the projection layer. So this by contrast is like an alteration or a weakening of it. So this is sort of like, if Night Smoke is the positive, this is the negative. But then there are like different schools of magic or I don't know. I don't think I'm going to go into that, but they're like two halves of the same effect. A sort of night and day difference, if you will. And yeah, I know sand doesn't like. It's hard for sand to actually become glass, depending on what it's composed of. And not anything in its path. Path. Yeah. That would be cool if it could kill things in its past. But that's... there's not going to be a time travel exclusion zone, but I think there's one where... I think there's one mentioned where it's like weaponized looking into the past. Or something like that. I think there actually are a couple excluded things that are similar to time travel. There's just nothing of value at all. Yeah. Like, I do think if there's nothing of value at all in the zone, it is less interesting. But also, like, I feel like there are probably some dwarves that live there. There's like, you could attempt to capture the solar energy. Like, okay, gun to my head, if I had to make a like 3-hour D&D campaign that took place within this zone, like what would I what would I do with it? I would probably have some people trying to capture solar power. I would probably have a necessary expedition into... Yeah, I'll put dwarves in every exclusion zone. Well, so this is one that, like, specifically is totally livable if you're underground. And there are probably a couple like that. And there's not really a reason for dwarves to, like, prefer those places much, but... so anyway, D&D, I'd put a dwarf city in there. There are a bunch of other underground races. I think it's listed in the brief description of ARB. Igno are one of them. No, they're under a bunch of other underground tunnel crawling races. Dwarves are just like the most common race aside from humans, or possibly even more than humans, because they can just burrow underground and be relatively happy there. I would probably have the, like, harnessed superheating. Okay, I think that everyone says ARB differently than how I say it, and I think I say it different from how the audiobook says it, even though I gave the audiobook a pronunciation guide. I think I told them what I felt was a more correct version than the way I say it. And I like it, so just to ignore all my pronunciations. I'm not good at saying words. I'm okay at typing them. Right. I actually... I actually can look at the pronunciation guide. I think I told them that it was Arb. I say Arb, but I don't think that's correct. It's a funny thing to be wrong about, but... this is publication stuff? No. Okay, I'm not gonna look for it too hard. Alright, I don't know where my pronunciation guide, because I for the audiobook people I made a pronunciation guide, and I don't know where that is. Moving on. I also think it's a pronunciation that probably for me has changed over time. Just has, like, drifted. Sorry, emergency wards. You know, just emergency wards. Like, you need to know the specific magic. You can ward against light, and you can ward against heat. I think this is fine. It's a fine sentence. I'm pretty sure warding against heat is canonical. I'll check that in the edit. But that's one of those things where I need to go like diving through the like 1.5 million words to see whether it had been done before or whether it had been specifically marked as being impossible. Okay, great. Is this sentence? Is this is this sentence fine? Like, because this could be emergency wards against extreme heat and light can be set up as shelters, or can be. I think that reads worse to me, but I'm willing to take contrary opinions. Oh, sure. Okay, I think that's fine. Yeah, there's a lot of rain. All right, so that's, I'm gonna say that's first one done. 600 words over 50 minutes. That's not great. It's not great pace. I'm gonna close this window a little, though. I do love the rain. You might be able to still hear it through the roof. So I'm on the second floor. Um, Gray magic excluded. Light can be warded against directly as gem magic, and also as vibration magic. That, yep, it's gem and vibration. I don't think it was ever explained, but there's a part in like book 1 where they see some plants in a hotel, and it was meant to be like light wards or something. I don't know. That was one of those things I didn't hammer out well enough. Moving on. This is the gray magic. Dorian Gray. If gem magic is excluded, light can't be warded from anymore. That is more or less correct. Sorry, I'm just going to reread this. I don't actually... I've read the picture of Dorian Gray. Okay. Vibration magic is enthetic. Yes, it is. Okay, that might be right. I don't know. I'm not tracking it down. There's already an SEZ, isn't there? There's the SSEZ, NSEZ, OSEZ. Spect is SEZ. Okay. This, I think, is still going to be the SEZ. This is going to be the SMEZ. Called the Semblance Exclusion Zone, and I think this one is Utherian in nature. I'm going to see if Bacon Time had any notes. Which I almost always am going to roll with. Okay. Oh, the City of Paints. I'm going to include that. So, as Bacon Time points out, this is the City of Paints is from a campaign setting that I made for D&D. I posted in Discord and probably a few other places. Do this is like mid-adventure Uther. Let's say let's say 9 FE. Don't be mold. Okay. The city of Paints is from a or the named cities are from a campaign setting that I posted where every city has like its own special magic to it. Yeah, right there. And they have like unique magics, and each city is themed around that. And I was gonna write a novel. I got like 6 chapters in. Maybe that's overstated. Maybe it's like 3 chapters, but of like a wizard and a witch, and they travel around these cities and fall in love and stuff. But I also ran a D&D campaign in it, and so I'm going to take some of that flavor for this. Okay, and I need to stop, and I need to think for a second. Just to plot this out a little bit. I try to do. So I've always said that writing is more in your head than at the keyboard, and so I always try to do some like writing time as I'm falling asleep at night, where I think, okay, what 2 exclusions do I have coming up, or I think about dungeons, or whatever. But I think about what am I doing next? Like, what's cool about it? What am I going to do? This one I spent less time on last night because I fell asleep, as one does. So like, what do I want to include? Like, what's cool? Yeah, a lot of writing is also during commutes and while doing other stuff. I wouldn't recommend doing it while trying to fall asleep, because then you're like actively engaging your mind. I don't know why I'm so compelled to like fix a spelling error in what is obviously not going to be finished text. And then this is Yeah, we'll just leave it at largely unlivable, and then history, like a brief history. Okay, I'm gonna open my window back up. The rain has passed, the sun is out. Okay, the rain has not entirely passed. But I do like to write with the window open. Even in winter, I'll crack it sometimes. Oh, here's a fun fact about me. I never, like, so gray is spelled with either an A or a Y, depending on if you're British or not. Wait, so I can never remember which is which. We're gonna use gray with an A. This is like one of those things I really lean on Google for, to just be like, hey, it's British spelling, and I'm like, oh, okay. I get that wrong like 50% of the time because it won't stick in my brain. Yeah, so gray magic is basically voodoo doll magic ish. It's the opposite. It's the opposite way. Well, I guess it's not the opposite way, but it's very, very similar to that. Shemets, those are both good ideas. I don't know how deep I'm gonna go with the gray magic stuff here, because it's mostly the exclusion and stuff. I do kind of want this sort of entry to feel like it is an exploration of an idea, and it's like, here's a story that's not written, and I'm not going to write, but like, this is everything that you would need to write this story on your own. It's like almost an outline. Is there a reason for the gray name in universe? I'll try to come up with something. I don't think there's a name for Dorian Gray. I think that's just his last name. This can be a new paragraph. Oh, here. Yeah, it doesn't reset aging. It just prevents aging. Or sorry, right? It does not revert aging. It just prevents it. I don't remember what I said. Whew, okay, I'm gonna get through this exclusion, but I'm nearing my limit for continuous writing. Sorry, that continuousness in scare quotes. Does that prevent soul decay? Yes, which is what prevents aging. No, there doesn't need to be someone still living there. Because which is said right there, that if they suffer too much, they crumble, and then you gotta find a new thing. Which is not how it works in the picture of Dorian Gray. No, there he just he can't look at the thing that he's linked to, or it deals everything back on it. Prevents soul manipulation. That's hard. I think an advanced version of it would, maybe. So I will only do this if I can think of something interesting. Otherwise, it's better left. It's better not to spend a bunch of time trying to be like, oh, what's like a cool thing that I can do from this. How does the predictive effect manifest? I think it sinks in and does no damage, but it's kind of that's one of those things I'll be leaving unsaid, just because like that's a question that you need to ask for every single type of damage. Like how does it manifest for a burn? How does it manifest for a cut? For like a bruise, do you like get kinetic energy imparted from you if you get hit in the chest with a warhammer? So we're gonna leave that. Is this not a word? Yeah, okay, it's a word. Frickin' Google. No. Does it work with emotional damage or memes or stuff? Whatever. This is one of those things where I'm just like, we're not working it out. We're not. We're moving on. It's not answering those questions. Yeah, no, that goes directly in trash. Right. I do it as a way of emotional healing for myself. When Google says something to me that's wrong, like like in that like prize, uh, like using praise there makes absolutely no sense. It upsets me, and so I can submit feedback, and that makes me feel better about myself, even if it's not going to change any of the underlying algorithms or whatever's driving the idiotic decision making of their grammar and spell checker. Oh, I don't know if that's good, but uh, okay. Human lifespan is for an adult is like 50. Well, okay, 50 or 60 years. So we figure a person dead from rapid aging every half hour. Is this still history? Yes, this is still history. Okay. I'm removing the food one. That has a ton of complications. I'm just doing and so on. Yeah, trying to actually work. I'm like trying to actually work out what would happen under these conditions, where all like damage and stress and everything else gets transferred to a single object. It's hard to do. It's hard to work out, but I think that this is roughly correct. It's one of those things I'd want to spend more time on if this weren't like just one out of like 80 exclusion entries. But I don't know that it took them a good while to notice. I don't know, like, you would notice right away that, like, suddenly you can't break things. So I think you can eat. I think you can eat because, like, let's say you're trying to eat an apple. That apple is linked through some long chain or whatever of linking to a different apple. And so, like, if you, it's not that, like, the apple is just impervious to having a bite taken out of it, it's that all the damage to the apple gets transferred out. to one apple at the very end of the line. So I think you can still eat. It just is like you take a bite out of an apple and it doesn't appear to take any damage, but then you still have like a chunk of apple in your mouth. I think that's what happens. But it's one of those things. I'm glossing over it for this entry because it's not that I don't find it interesting. It's that I think it's complicated in a way that is hard to, like, if you get into the complicated bits, it's hard to pay off those complicated bits. Like if you want to delve into the complications, there has to be some kind of reward as a reader for doing that, to getting through a lot of technical details. But I think you can bite a gray mage and get a mouthful of flesh. I think so, or paper. The interesting thing about gray magic to me is that like what does it mean for like to be linked to like a painting, you know, like because there's a lot of damage you can do to a person and it doesn't reflect on the painting, at least in the picture of Dorian Gray, which is this is at least loosely inspired by. Like the painting doesn't get burnt, but the image of Dorian Gray in the painting gets burnt. Which is much weirder than like you burn Dorian Gray and his painting burns, which is not what happens. It's the image of Dorian Gray within the painting burns, but the painting itself doesn't. It's this weird. The treachery of images. Okay, I've got right now a bunch of stuff here. This is history. I think we're going straight to features. Yeah, this is definitely super soft magic. That's the treachery of images. I think that's a I really want to work in the treachery of images at some point in this thing. I don't know if I can. I'm gonna leave this to do in. Okay, I like this one. We just got features left, and then I'm done streaming. No, we have this one left, and then I'm gonna pick what's next on the docket, and then I'll be done streaming. And I also need to do word count once features is done. All right, so that was 500 years ago. This is like 500 years of history. This is a nice long boy. Habited, inhabited. Duh. Just gonna get some water. I'll be right back. Okay. Yeah, I should probably mention still mages. How long does features need to be? Um, the primary use for the zone. Okay, I'm going to put this to do in. Keep Amarillo stable. Yes-ish. Like, in theory, you need, like, a bunch of... You need to interact with, like, a research society, and you would risk giving other people rat rot that way. At least as from my understanding of the soft magic. It is one of those things that I'm not going to worry about. I agree. Yes, you could potentially add to that, but this exclusion is Sir not appearing in this story, so. All right, I think I'm gonna be done with this one. Okay, so let's see. Streaming hour 45. 1,600 words. That's fine. I think there's 600 words in the first hour and 1,000 in the last hour. Even though it hasn't been a full hour. So I'm gonna keep these here for next time. I'm not sure that this I'm not sure that any of this needs to exist, like this society of like existing gray mages. I'm gonna keep it probably, but I'm less sure about that than the other stuff. I think it's maybe possibly less cool. Being cool isn't like the only thing, but it's a big thing. Okay. Doop and doop. Just turn those red. Maybe a little bit left to do. Lava magic. Is lava magic just volcanoes or portals to the plane of lava? I'm probably overdue to do a story one. I just don't like doing those because it's like you've already seen it. It's not. Okay, we're gonna do Zentria. That one looks fun. Z's. We could do ice magic. Ice magic is technically unknown within the story. Yeah, okay. Because I'm overdue to do ice magic. And I will need to reread the section on ice magic. I think that was something ice 9. Utharian. What is Zentria? I should include that. Alright, and then that's the stream for today. I will try to work on both of those next time. I try to do at least one exclusion, sometimes two, and not like stop in the middle of them. I think this went pretty well. I like both of these. I think Gray Magic turned out well. I will see you next time.